Today, I wanted to chat with you guys. So, we're going to have a coffee and chat about all this flooding. It's definitely making international news. Right now, I'm sitting in my garden, sweating, surrounded by mosquitoes. But we've gotten so much rain. My area, we got really lucky. We are at a higher elevation and not on the edges of any cliffs. So, my neighborhood was not affected by these floods, but the counties that encompass my area and all of Austin, both Williamson County and Travis County, were both recently declared national disaster areas because of the flooding. Kerrville and the other counties had even worse problems. It looks to me as if the further west it went into the Edwards Plateau, which is more deserty, more limestone rock, they had bigger problems because the limestone rock doesn't allow the water to infiltrate and there's not much soil on top. Especially these places that have ripped up all of their forests. Those plants are literally holding the ground in place. Their roots are holding the soil from just washing away in the case of a flood. We've been in a drought for the last 5 years, and people are probably thinking, it's not going to happen. As things have been changing in recent years, storms have become more extreme and more common, happening more often. And because of this, you better expect that it could happen any year and be prepared for it. So, wow, I'm really sweating. I had to bring this with me. Okay. Wow. So, my heart has been really heavy over these last weeks while we were having these storms and finding out that so many people weren't getting these warnings or they weren't getting them in time, and just all the deaths. There's now a much higher death count already than from 2017's Hurricane Harvey. And yeah, it's much closer to home this time. But that Camp Mystic is right next door to my old camp, which had closed a while back. So Camp Arrowhead was my girls' camp that I went to as a child. I woke up in the morning, swam on the Guadalupe River, learned synchronized swimming there, did horseback riding, tennis. I got the lead in the play. I really thrived at that camp. It meant so much to me, and I can imagine it probably looked just like Camp Mystic, and our cabins were probably very similar. It was a 6-week sleepaway camp. I was coming from the Dallas area. My best friend had been going to that camp for years. I begged my parents to go, and she lived in El Paso, so she met me there. The people at these camps, they weren't the ones voting whether the tax money was going to flood warnings or not. If you're in any area that might flood, I think that flood warning systems should be a requirement. It's really difficult to get those things passed in a place like Texas where they don't like to be regulated. I can see both sides a little bit, but I honestly think that regulations help when public safety is involved. These are people making decisions based on money. It's very upsetting to me, and this is one of the reasons why I'm doing the food forest, why I want to teach people around the world to build food forests. I know this channel is now reaching people all over the world, which is so exciting because you may be using different plants based on your climate, but these ideas, the principles and ethics of permaculture and food forest, which is a permaculture concept, can be applied to your context anywhere around the world. So yesterday we had another flood, and they were like, stay home unless you're fleeing an area that is in flooding. It hasn't stopped yet, and we actually have another flood warning today. Have you guys been getting rain where you're at? When it rains here, it really does pour, and we don't even have regular rain. We just have thunderstorms. So kind of like thunderstorms are nothing here. And in the summers, we get a lot of tropical storms, hurricanes, and that kind of weather from the Gulf of Mexico. We also get weather from the north, just coming down through the rest of the country. So It's kind of crazy. The sun is out. What's up with that? So, chances are it'll just completely stop raining in a minute. But, last weekend, around 4th of July, it rained and rained and rained. If their city hadn't planned for water infiltration, in Texas, there's just kind of unrestricted land use in a lot of cases, and people buy it up and they cover it in concrete. We've got the biggest highways, we've got the biggest parking lots. Like Texas, everything is bigger, right? It's kind of not a lie. So are the storms. And you really need to have soil that can soak up the rain in these taller plants. The roots are going to go down deeper, and they're going to be able to get water from further down into the ground. And over time, by using these regenerative practices, I'm creating soil that's going to act like a soil sponge. So it should soak the water in and hold it for later when the plants need it, in the hotter parts of the summer when it's not raining. I've only had to water a couple times in the last many months, and that's not really normal for us. So some years you're going to get a ton of rain. You have to be ready to have it soak in. If you have impenetrable surface, it's not going to soak in. And if you have plants, it's going to soak in even better and hold it in the ground, eventually making it down into our groundwater, the aquifer, and then coming out through springs and being clean water. Okay? Stay safe. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more, I have a nifty little demo right there, so please watch.